Greetings, programs. This is Let's Code a Full 90, where we'll take the next hour and a half and dig into some source code to try to make our part of the world a little bit of a better place. As we have been for the last 15 weeks, this is the 16th week, we're going to be digging in the Wix toolset. We're actually going to be picking up where we left off from last week, and last week we left it in quite a bit of a mess, actually. We have a fair bit of work to do here. The big things are this list that I laid out. Oops, bigger. Maybe not that big. All this stuff around validating the new Wix version, which is a little bit of Semver, a whole lot of 4-part versions, and essentially a lot more flexible in handling all the versions that we see in the world that get thrown at us, so that the Wix toolset generally handles them better, and doesn't just give up. And is honestly a little bit modern, because not supporting Semver at all is kind of a thing. So I think today we're going to tackle this right Wix version parsing. I have to admit, I'm going to leave that the way it was. I'm a little bit scared to do all this string parsing and stuff here, but it's, I think, the right thing to kind of get that knocked out and out of the way. And probably poke around at the interfaces a little bit to figure out how do we expose the Wix version parsing concept to all the parts of Wix toolset that need it, which means we're going to get a nice little exploration of the various parts of the Wix toolset that are very, very deep internal. But if you understand them, you'll understand a lot more about how the Wix toolset is put together, particularly around the compiler, the front end and the back end. I call it the compiler, even though it's actually the compiler, linker, resolver, and preprocessor. All that is the front end, and then the back ends, of which there are two today, the Windows Installer one and the Burn one, which builds bundles. All right, so we're going to be kind of wandering around in that space, or at least end up in that space, I think, pretty much. And hopefully then we end up spending a good part of this time watching me try to get positions into strings correct and parsing all this, to at least get some sort of checking inside the compiler that says, yeah, that looks like a good Wix version. All right, so let's go ahead and kick that off. So where we left it, as I like to do, is honestly leave things broken, because they point in the code very quickly at what's not done. And because as we go from week to week, as you are probably aware, I work on this here with the stream with you guys. I pick one thing that we're doing here on the stream, but then I have a whole nother branch, or rather a whole nother clone of the Wix 4 repository, where I go through and try to plow through as many bugs as possible in the Wix toolset itself. And just because I want to share this little piece, this is my list of Wix bugs. About 2 months ago, I had 3 pages worth of bugs, and now I am down to 23 open in the Wix 4 Preview 1, which feels so much better. Anyway, we're working on this one right here, 4666. That's what I'm hoping we knock out in the stream here in the next week, 2, 3, however long it takes. I hope it doesn't take more than 3. We aren't probably going to finish it today. That would surprise me. Anyway, so there's that. And then I am currently on my other world, I'm working on this decompiler extensions and getting things sorted out there. Anyway, in case you are wondering what I'm doing when I'm not on the stream, I try to save all the work here so we can kind of keep up together on the issue we're working on. All right, so again, we're working on 4666. What an awesome number. All right, here we go. So this is in the process MSI package. So this is back in the Burn backend, where we're trying to put bundles together and pull versions out of all the various different packages to make sure that they are valid versions. And when we put them into the bundle and just say, hey, by the way, that version isn't something that Burn's going to recognize, and Burn now is very flexible in what it recognizes, so we're going to print out this warning that also doesn't exist. All right, I don't want to start here on the back end though. I was thinking we'd be over here in the compiler core. Where was it? Maybe it was in the parser helper. I know somewhere we have a red dot in the core. Let's look in the core. Parse helper, there it is. I knew it was here. Yep, so here when we get a version, we also want to parse that version here. So that's the Wix version try parse. So I think what I said is that Wix version is going to look a lot like UUID. Yeah, right. So create a class that can do all of the parsing for us, static methods, things like that, to do that, so that we will then be able to expose this or use this internal, very internal piece of functionality across the various parts of the Wix toolset wherever we need it. Kind of like we do with the UID, where we can generate GUIDs. We have to generate GUIDs all over the place. That class is the thing that does all the work for us in that. All right, so let's go ahead and tackle that, because I know we're going to need this thing, and I'm pretty sure it goes here. Now, this is in the extensibility namespaces. All this is the internals of the Wix toolset core. None of this is publicly visible. These pieces, these are the internal implementations of various parts that the Wix toolset uses. So we are, something to just keep in mind, we are inside the Wix toolset right now, deep inside. All right, so this is going to be called Wix version. I think that makes sense. And there's our internal class, and we want to have one thing sticking out of it, which is our static Boolean try parse. Did I just call it try parse? I did. That makes sense to me. And we will pass in the value, and we'll pass out a Wix version. I think that's the thing to do. And then I guess we said we're going to do a toString on it. Okay. Do I really want to override toString? Maybe I do. I don't know. That's the way versions would work before, I guess. The thing is that if I overwrite toString, then I'm supposed to overwrite what equals and those other kinds of things. And I don't know if I really want to do that. I'm just going to toss this in here because that's what we had. We may get rid of this. Public override toString, return. All right, that. Okay. And I don't know what we're going to return or how we're going to return this thing internally, but it's going to be something like this. We have a lot of parsing to do. All right, now that I have that and this code is now happy, that's great. I want to get to a place where I can get a hold of this and put some tests on it to make sure that I can validate it. And here we can see with ncrunch tells me that, hey, you do have some tests testing this sort of thing, which is fantastic. Oh, of course. Almost all of our tests go through here because this is get attribute version value, and pretty much every single integration test that we have is going to go through and hit a attribute that is a version, which means a lot of our tests have versions. All right, so that's less interesting. I would like instead maybe to see, if I remember correctly, it's been a minute. We have the test core. We added that before for the preprocessor work we did. Yeah, this looks good. So the question is, yes, and if we remember correctly, the preprocessor we got out of the Wix toolset provider factory. Fantastic, which means I think we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to do this for the parser helper, which is exposed as an interface. Let's go look at that. So let's put I want to put a bookmark here so I can jump home. And yeah, so iParser helper. So we can ask for the iParser helper and create a test for that. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. I'm going to copy this thing. Parser helper fixture. Test that we haven't had. We've honestly in Wix, we've spent more time focused on integration tests than we have done a good job focusing on the testing the internal parts, because running through the compiler from end to end has a lot of value, and all of this helper, parser helper, and testing all these individual parts, we chose to this isn't extensibility, right? Just check it. Yes, in services. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at one time. We have not invested a lot in the deep integration or deep unit testing because all the integration testing running through the parser, recursive to set parser, all that kind of stuff. It just felt a little bit more straightforward, given also that we came from behind without having a lot of tests. It's a lot easier just to write a few being quite a few, but a lot fewer integration tests across the whole compiler, then you pick up lots and lots of functionality. But now that we're going to be editing this thing and we're going to get into lots of string parsing, I want to have a targeted a targeted test for just this thing. All right, let's see. This is parser helper. Get parser helper. And why are you not being resolved? Oh, let's see. We're dependent on the core. Okay, so that should be giving our pieces. Do we have the extensibility services? What, am I spelling it wrong? Parse. Oh, it's parse. Did I put an R in there? I put an R in there. Okay. That's why I can't find it. All right, great. So we don't need any of this XML reader. Honestly, we're just going to say create the service provider and ask for the type that we want. I don't think that it's actually any more complex than that. All right. Okay, so that gives us our parser helper, and we don't need that. And I want to say can parse attribute version. Now, how much do I have to do? Bar helper equals get parser helper. And then I want to say bar result equals helper dot get version value. And I have to provide it. I don't need to give it a source line number necessarily, but I do need to give it an attribute. Okay. But I think I can just give it an attribute without tying it to anything. Let's see if we can. New X attribute. No, X attribute. Wrong namespace, that one. Yes, thank you. And I just want I need the name and the value. Version and the value. 1.2.3.4. All right, let's see if we can pass that in. Attribute. Assert dot equal, and we will say, when we get this version, we get back a string. So we should expect 1.2.3.4 back as our result. And we don't need any of this stuff. And we can just call this for-part attribute version. Okay, that gets enough of that in place. Let's see how much more do we need so that we can get ourselves back to building, because that's kind of my next thing. All right, so nCrunch is telling me this needs to return. Okay, let's do version equals null, return false. There, that will always fail, but at least it will build. Cool. Do I need the burn? I don't need burn. So I can let this, all of the burn functionality is in a separate assembly, which I don't need because now my test is running. So we can just focus down this test. And this is telling me that object is not set right. So I am hitting an error message and, oh, the parent is not set. Okay. So I am going to need a real element. I just want to kind of do this. Let's see. Private X attribute, create attribute. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Create attribute. And do I care about the name of the? See, by just parsing this attribute version, I don't really care what the name is. So string value. Okay, great. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to say var element equals new X element test new X attribute. Value, value, value. That's fantastic. Test. How about test, please? Thank you. And, oh, I need that attribute though. Fine. Oh, do it the other way around. Create the element second. Var element attribute. There we go. There we go. Return attribute. There. And actually, we don't need it. We'll just discard it. Let's see if that's enough to get us through this part of the test. Can parse. Object ref is still set to null. Which one of these things is it upset about being null? Let's go ahead and run it. And let's see how far it gets. Yeah, all right. So I know that's null, but that should be allowed to be null. Parent. Oh, parent. Oh, parent. I was hoping that by assigning the attribute to the element, it would set its parent correctly. Did I not do that correctly? We can just look here real quick. once we get our test set up, we'll be off to the races. No? Element? Fine. Let's see. Let's go with a whole document. For doc equals new X document. That, I think. Okay, now. Oh, come on, Rob. Use the new code. You wrote it. Private. Static. Why does it keep failing the way it was before? I've changed this code. Oh, because you're not using the code, Rob. All right, there we go. Okay, on our Oasis. Okay, there we go. Test value better is not a valid version. Okay, and that's what we expect. So do we actually, I'm curious. Did this work now? Yes, all right, great. We are now getting the error message as we expect simply by tossing onto it. Great, everything is working as expected. All right, so we expect this to work. Can parse semver. I'm going to need better names, but let's see how this goes out. 1.2.3 preview.0. Kind of like Wix 4. And can pass semver for part semver. So the Wix toolset allows that as well. Probably should update my expectations at the same time. What is this? Meta 123 dash other dot 456. There we go. All that good stuff. And then 99. I have to push the boundaries at the end, probably. Let's see how high these numbers can go. All right, well that will get us started. Okay, let's go see what we see here. Okay, now we're gonna drop right into Wix version. This is where we're failing, and we're not hitting the toString at all because we're not returning true here. And the one case where we parse, we only return the toString if it's there. Great. Great, 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 great. Okay. I'm going to bring up the native code. I don't know how much it's going to help. I mean, parse version. Right, we can have a leading V. Okay. All right, that's good. And then, oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dot minus or plus. Oh, right, plus build metadata. We need to add that too. Okay. And then those parts, parse the version part, turns it into its constituent pieces, has a trailing dot. Don't know what to think about that. The dash, the end of part. Got it. So it can be alphanumeric. Plus, the dot has a trailing dot. All of these things. And then it does the work to turn it back into its parts. All right. This actually isn't as bad as I thought it might have been. It's actually much better than I thought it would be. All right. So part begin, part end. So here, part end. So we read all of the things and then we hit, okay, trailing dot last part, minus plus equals true. So after last part, do we just read everything? Just curious, where does last part get used? What? Last part. If part end is greater than it, all right, fine. Last part. If it's a less of our part version, all right, parse version number equals true, or last part, okay. Now it gets set to false. Okay, this is a separate OR. Okay, expected release labels. I was hoping this would pretty quickly tell me if everything was ignored after the last part. Ah, expected release labels. I see. Okay, so this is now parsing. Right, this is parsing all of the content at the end in any of these ranges. And what's up with this trailing dot? Release labels or a trailing dot. Doesn't like the trailing dot in the version number, I guess. Expected release labels were invalid if we've already been invalid, or we expected release labels, okay, and the version release and there's a trailing dot. So if we expect release labels and there's a trailing dot, that's bad, okay? If we expect release labels and there's no release labels, I see. So we expected a release label, but there was no content, that's also considered bad. All right, so it doesn't like trailing dots and it doesn't like expected release label with no release labels on it, which makes sense, okay? Release labels, expected release. Got it. All right, so it looks like this first part is parsing the version numbers, which is what it says. This is one of those things you can trust the comments or you can trust the code, and I guess I've always fallen in the habit of trusting the code. All right, so parsing the version number, expecting only numbers, and then when we hit the dash, the plus, then we no, we're going to hit, all right, we're in the last part, so we can stop looking probably. 4. Okay. So we go through all the way. If part end is greater than n or equal to n. So if we get to the end, oh, here's a break. Wait, this break. Oh, there. All right, here's a continue inside the switch. All right, got it. So if we're finding version numbers, then continue. If we hit a trailing dot, then break out. Okay. And if we hit anything invalid, then we're done. Part begin equals part end, then that's where we're at. Okay. Got it. So we're at what? Then we figure out what part we're on: the first, the second, the third, the fourth. Got it. Trailing dot. Okay. And we do all of that while there's something to parse. And last part gets set here. I want to see this not go through all the code for some reason. Find the end of the part. Okay, part end, this. Invalid devar, get the string to uint. All right, so we want to parse each number. Invalid true, okay. Yep, version, number patch. Yep. And trailing dot. I see. If we're at a trailing dot, then move on to the next thing. Got it. And if we're at 4 parts or the last part, that's what I was looking for. There it is. If we're at the 4 parts or we're at the last part, then say that we've parsed a version number and we break. All right. So if the I part is greater than 4, greater than or equal to 4. So if we've already parsed 4 parts, so if it's the 5th part, then stop, or we've hit the last part, parse. All right. I guess I'm just going to kind of probably implement the same thing in C#. I'm not sure there's any advantage in trying to do anything smarter. I don't know if there's any better because we want this. We want the tool set to validate what's going to end up being parsed in burn anyway. So we want to kind of match. We want to match this. So I think that's probably the thing to do. Yep, I think that's the thing to do. Except we don't have to worry about the memory allocations. Any other things to think about? I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's all that we're going to have to do. All right, so how do I want to do this? You know what? A large part of me just want to pick this up and move it. Or copy it, that is. Let's start with the version number. Let's go ahead and bring this over. I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but let's go ahead and see what we see. So this is, what do I want to call this? I am parsing this into constituent pieces. So let's say we're going to do, yeah, if equals new Wix version. I don't know, maybe. Version equals new Wix version. Yep. Version.parse. I don't know. This doesn't feel right. How do I want to get all the parts put onto this thing? Okay, because what does it do in the end? We get down here, we look at the end result. Label numeric. Now this is only doing offsets for us in the end for the label. Yeah. Or no, it's giving us. Can you go there? No, I don't have that. Okay. Oh, how do I want to kick off the parse? It just doesn't matter. Let me just start writing something and then it will come to me. Version numbers. And we're going to drop the C# code in, or the C++ code in here, C code. And what am I going to do? I'm going to try to get these 4 parts found while we're parsing through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's the way I'm going to do this. I don't know if that's helpful, but all right. I think so. We want to say while start is less than end. All right. Don't really know how I want you guys. Maybe I'll just bring the whole code in and see how it rolls. C++ isn't different enough. All right. All right, so we're going to reset the trailing dot each time. And we're going to go through the end. So part end. So this is the part end. Pretty sure that goes there. Didn't check. Part end starts at 0. I'm guessing it does. Whoa. Yes. Up, 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 up. Part end. Yep. Yep. Where did part? Oh, there we go. Save the end pointer. Version part end. Where did part end get initialized to? This is, all right. They all get initialized to the beginning. Fine. That's kind of what I expected. Part begin, right? Part begin, I think it's begin, equals 0. Okay. If it somehow goes beyond, last part equals true. var last part equals false. All right, let's see how we go from here. Switch part end. So part end version part end. The part we're looking at the end. Let's look at this character. Case. Oh, I was like, why is this upset? All the L's. If that is true, then part end. Oops, why did I take the plus off? Yeah. Move on. How weird. Case dot, then we say trailing dot is true, yep. Case, the metadata cases, the last part is true. Otherwise invalid. Invalid equals true. Yep, all right. Go, 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 go. All right, so if it's a number, then keep going. If it's a dot, then we will break. If it's metadata, we'll break with last part set. And if it's any other character, then we say that the version number is invalid. Okay. So if the part begin, and part begin is set to 0. So we have a bigger loop. Part begin was set to 0. Where does part begin change? At the very end? That's not it. Yeah, it's at the very end. All right, that's kind of expected. Okay, cool. Part begin. If part begin, so if we've got to the end, also invalid. If we're invalid, break out of parsing the version number. Okay. Otherwise, what are we doing here? We're getting the difference between these things. I don't think we have to worry about it doing that. So if they're equal, that would give you 0. So what are we doing? We're doing length equals part. How does it know that that's the part I wanted? That's that. All right. So if we do this and it ends up negative, then invalid. Invalid. And we can stop. Why is that an unnecessary assignment? It starts as false. Let's look at the code again here. If it's 0, I see. I don't have to worry about this math problem because here it's using string pointers to strings, so I don't have to worry about that math problem. I can just go straight to this. Oh, I must have some brace that's out missing now. Okay, fine. Got it. Now we want to parse a version. Yeah, exactly. It'll work out when it all comes back around. So then part begin for the length. So that's where I want to, I just want to see it. For my debugging purposes, it's usually worth it to see these things. Version.substring. Yes, thank you. No, not start. Nice try. Put close. Part begin. Right. So length should be all good. Uint, right? Uint 32. So is that int? No, uint. Sorry, my bad. Uint 32. I like that one. Try parse s out var, what do we call it? Part? Part. Invalid equals true. Need another curly brace there. You're not happy that I have that. That's fine. Now we need our current part. Yeah, I think that's our current part equals 0. Current part. There we go. And this is what I was trying to figure out at the beginning when I didn't know exactly where I was going to put things. Sorry, the part. This is where I need the object. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Let's see. So, current part. Where do I want to stick these things? I'm just going to stick them here for a minute until I get the major, minor, patch, and revision. Although I think this is called build in normal 4-part versions, but we'll go with semver, no problem with that. Okay, so var major equals whoa, thank you. That is what I wanted. What? How did it, what was it, revision? How did it get patched? Man, that's pretty crazy. Oh, uint. Uint, please. There we go. What's unnecessary? Fine. There we go. Invalid. Now, if we have a trailing dot, right, then we move. Yes, so if we had a trailing dot, we're at the end of the part. We're good to go. Move the part forward. Part begin equals the end. And the part that we are working on moves to the next part. If the current part is that, or we're in the last part, then we say we parse the version number. Okay, so how far am I from getting this from working? Null code pass return a value. Undo fact, okay. I guess I did make this that. Okay, cool. All right, good. Now we have all this red coming through telling me that we are actually working through the code. And this says that it's kind of working. All right, let's try public now. I don't know if this is the way I want to do this, but maybe. Unit. If only there was a uint. Well, what am I doing here? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make you guys nullable. All right, I should have just done this before. I was thinking about doing it this way. Should have just done it this way. Both of you, one more. Patch, revision. All right, I think that's close enough. I don't need these now, and I'll just come down here and set these all to this dot. And just for giggles, oh, we're still not getting through. Oh, that said return false. So I know this is always true now, but let's see where we end up. Good, so now, I know this is small, but this says Wix toolset, extensibility Wix version. basically I'm returning toString of the type. So, I guess I have to put these back together. It's probably the way to do it. I guess. Let's see, what do I want to say? Yeah, all right, let's try it. I don't know if this is worth it. Yeah, thank you. SB is so common. All right, so if this dot major has value, we dot append this dot major dot value. I think I'll pick it up. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, think so? Just keep the whole string from start to finish? Yeah, you're right, because I don't actually ever care about... I was just wondering if I'm ever going to do math on this thing. Then I was just going to throw it all back. I don't know. Let me see what this looks like. I'm just curious what this ends up looking like. Let's see where this takes me. Whoops, patch. And revision. Let's just see where we end up with this code. Okay, this may be enough to give us a green on this one, maybe. Nope, still not. But, oh, only if I do return the string builder as the value. Let's see, does that do it? Hey, we got a green dot, that's interesting. Yeah, that's certainly an option, is to just not build up the whole string again. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3. I still don't have any handling for the invalid. I'm going to decide how I want to do that. Am I going to throw, or am I going to change this up to be more of a helper function for the tried parse? Do I expose anything more for creating the version? I just haven't decided what I'm going to do, how I want this to be shaped, but I want to kind of get this parsing out of my head first and see where we go. All right, so I think that's the first part. We've got through the first part of verutil, which is the version number part. So let's see how much more do we have? Not a lot, I expect. Oh, no, there's a good block here. Okay, wait. So let's see. So this is outside the for. This is the next block. What are we trying to do here? Expected release labels. Wait, when was that set? Okay. Oh, it's set inside this if statement. Okay, that's it. Okay, cool. So if we expected it, let's go ahead and do the expected release labels part next, I guess. Or try to do the whole thing. I think. Oh, it's everything at that point. Cool. All right, let's just grab the rest and see how hard it is to pull the rest down. All right, that was parse version number. Yeah, see here, yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep putting it this one function and then decide if I wanna factor it differently later. Whoa. All right, wait. Why did that not paste nearly as well as I thought it would? Okay, you guys are sliding out. You have all your if statements, parentheses. All right, well, let's just kind of roll. All right, we are invalid if we're already invalid, or we've not parsed a version number because there must be a version number to start, or there's a trailing dot. So if we get past all of the versions and we end up with a trailing dot, that's that error case. Okay, cool. If we're invalid, oh, not invalid, read. and part begin is still less than end, and part begins. Okay, so version part begin is a dash. Oh, see, I just see right past that L. All right, then part begin is at part. Oh, okay. Part begin, part end are reset to part begin plus one. So essentially, we have a version metadata, or not version, not metadata. What's it called? Is it metadata? Just metadata. All right, and we expected release labels is true. Did I not have one already? Oh, we didn't. All right, cool. And last part is false because we're not at the end anymore. So if we've hit upon a dash, then we have expected release labels. Okay. While we expected to have release labels, is this going to change inside here? No. Okay. Just a quick way to skip it, I guess. And part begin is less than the end, so we don't slide off the end. Trailing dot always gets reset to false. And then we want to find the end of part. And this is, oh, this is going to break down our release labels for us. Okay. So if the part end is greater than that, then we've hit the less greater than equal. If we hit the end, last part is true. Oh, yes, very good, very good. Okay, all of you. Thank you. And all of you actually can just go to single quote, L quote. That's a thing. Let's just get rid of all of those. Thank you. There we go. Okay. If we found one of our characters, then let's, and if we found an expected character, let's keep that. If we found build metadata, then we need to move on to the next part. If we found a dot, then we have a trailing dot. Otherwise, it's invalid. Seems about right. If part begin, if the part has hit the end, then it's invalid. Okay. If we're invalid, break. All right, we're doing this same thing again for the length. All right, so now we're going to get the label out right here. What am I missing that you want to make this indented so much more? Oh, okay. No, you do. You're right. You're right, editor. I'm wrong. There you go. Let's get you indented. Okay. Part length. So now if our part length is... And that's all of this. Part and part. Yep. Okay, I saw that part. That's the invalid break. All right, now we need to get the label and append it to the end. Oh, wait. Oh, try to get it as a number. Oh, okay. Interesting. I suppose burn needs that. Because those numbers, oh right, because when you're comparing things, the numbers need to, yeah, you have to interpret the, items that are numbers you need to interpret as numbers. That's interesting. And that's why the dot has to be broken out separate, probably. Yes, because you have preview.0, preview.1. Then you have to make sure those are broken out. Ah, okay, I get it. Let's see. So how do I want to store that then? Because I now have a number. Removing the part that breaks out of the loop if invalid. I don't know what part he's talking about. I'll come back for that. Release labels. Okay, so this is all just labels. So how do I want to store this? Do I want to store these as another type? I guess I need to if I'm going to put a number or a string in there. It's essentially a union. The part that I just deleted. Right, part end minus part that. If invalid, if the length ends up being less than or equal to 0, then I can break. So if these two are equal, then I can subtract. That would give them 0. So that should go in here. And if this pointer diff is doing all the math to make sure that if they're, I think this fails if this ends up being negative, because you can't have a pointer as negative, so that would get invalid. So that's the less than. I think I have it all still there. I don't think I've lost it. I just don't need as many checks because I'm not doing pointer arithmetic, so don't need that extra thing. I think it's good. Unless I'm missing something. All right, so then mem ensure for new labels. I guess I have to create a type. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Make sure I'm catching that. Got it. Yes. Invalid can be set here. Right, so we don't want to keep going. Yeah, I have to think, maybe may just be able to bail. I don't know. It depends on, it's just like, do you throw an exception out? I don't know. I have to decide what to do there. I haven't decided how to handle the error case here yet at all. Part length, parts version. Now we're down into, I've lost that's trailing dot here. This is, all right, backwards, all red. All right, let's see. So then, try to parse as number. I guess I have to put a label type in here. Yeah. I guess that's what it's going to be. It's going to have to be one of two types. I don't have any way around that. Do I want to, I have to expose this? Probably. Oh, I guess. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to expose all of this anyway. But we'll keep it for now. And we'll see how this takes me. Internal class. That. Yes, okay. So, all right. And I want one for uint label. Numeric label. Where was I here? Numeric. Yeah, okay. We'll call it label. I'll call it numeric. Equals label. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see here. Maybe? There, that way the string value is always there and it may or may not be numeric. I don't know, that's something. C4, okay. And then string label. This dot label equals, oh shoot, thank you. Format please, thank you. Okay, well, let's just let that fly. Okay. So we're doing the whole parse as number again thing, which we had right here. Yep, except now if it's invalid, we don't want to do that. Okay, so try to parse. Let's see, so Wix version label equal label equals new Wix version label part numeric part, I want to call it that. Okay, else now I can equals new Wix version label just the S. Yeah. And now this dot labels dot add label. That's all that version number, counting things, string, numeric, set the label, DW value, all of that's in there. Set the string part, that's good. And we're back to real code. All right, cool. If we have a trailing dot, then skip it. Part begin, part end, last part. If we're at the last part, then we do that. Cool. I want to go ahead and create this real quick. Can we? Close. I don't care. Ah, that is not what I wanted. Using Wix version label. Only because it's internal. I'll think about this. I'm not sure I want to keep it this way. New. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, I've lost my, thank you. That's awesome, great. Great. So we're parsing that. And just for giggles, I'm going to come down here and do this thing. Oh, but now I don't have the separators. Bummer. This label's not the full label because it doesn't include, because yeah, see, preview dot thing. So I don't know actually how to put it back together. Which either I have to store the prefix to the label, boo, or I have to, excuse me, or I can store the whole string. I don't know. Part of me likes the idea of storing the prefix. That's just for fun. Let's see how this goes. Prefix. We're going to store the prefix of the label, which is basically not string. Char. Prefix separator. Ooh, I don't know if I want to use that word. Can't spell it. Separator. This dot. Actually, you're gonna do this for me, right? The prefix for the first one is always minus and the rest are always plus. What about the, is the build release metadata stored completely separately? Oh, I see. Metadata was stored completely independently. It's not stored as a label. So then don't have to, okay, cool. Then I don't have to store the separator. I was thinking I had to worry about the plus, but you're right. If the plus is stored, if the public string metadata, yes, that please, thank you, is stored as a separate piece, basically everything after the plus, then I don't have to worry about it. That's great. So here, for each var label in this dot labels, how do I want to remember the first? Oh, gave me the dashes too. I equals 0. Then we want to do dash. Otherwise, it's a plus. Otherwise, that. All right. And since we're here, I don't know, should I do string is null or empty? I don't know, it's like almost a force of habit. Okay, so this hopefully parsed all the labels. Now we can say we're invalid once again if we expected release labels, and the count of release labels is if we had a trailing dot, or the count of labels is 0, I think. If we're not invalid, part begin, still less the end. Okay, we still have more stuff. Version, part begin, end, you hit the plus. Otherwise, we're invalid. If it equals a plus, then we're good. Part begin, part end equals part begin plus 1. The metadata offset is everything off the end, I see. Okay. I think I want this dot metadata equals the substring version dot substring dot part begin plus 1, I think, because we want to get past the plus. Otherwise, it's invalid. If we're invalid, we need to do something. Throw new, or I guess return false. Oh, I can't return. Yeah, okay, fine. This is where I have to go. Throw new argument exception. I don't know, something. Doesn't matter right now. Return version. Okay. Don't think I have any invalid tests. Let's see, how far does this get us now? I broke something too. I lost a label dash. Oh, wait, okay, that's very interesting. Meta 0 other 0 0 4 5 6 plus. Oh, okay, let's try this not. And if my count, okay, I is less than 0, so that gets rid of the plus. All right, that fixed that. That had a plus on the end of it before. All right, cool. Now I gotta go back and look at my tests because I forgot what I put in there. 4, meta 1 2 3 4, other 4 5 6. So what did I do? I put I put all the labels together. Yeah, so now that's my prefix, and then other dot Now here for metadata, that's what I get for not looking. Now here for metadata, you would need the separator if you want plus or dot. I don't quite parse what you're saying there, Sean. Let's see. So, but I'm still losing my label. Okay. What did I do? Label to string, label. Well, you know what, let's just step through it. I always like to step through it in the end anyway, to get a feel for what I'm seeing. Let's go debug it. Let's see how it goes. Wait, what? Did I not say debug? Did I say run? Debug. There we go. Okay. No. What is happening here? Debug. Whoa, weird. Is nCrunch confused what I wanted to debug? Debug. Okay, this, fine. This one's good. Get the helper, do that. Go into the helper. That's really strange. This. Oh, the code does not match. What? Okay. I think nCrunch got confused here on me. Too many build breaks. Let's go ahead and close Visual Studio, open it up again, because usually that just means I had too many weird things going on around the outside that it confused nCrunch. Let's see if this works better. Okay, back to Wix version. I want to see my colors come back and then debug down, see how things go. Hopefully now it'll hit this breakpoint first time. That's really strange. 1, 2, 3, waiting for nCrunch to come back. There we go. I also saw like this temp project that was floating up here, which made me think it was just kind of bugged. Yes. All right, now we're in the good spot. This isn't the one I want. Yes, it is the one I want. 1234-meta.123. All right, cool. Go through here pretty quick because our 1234 one was working pretty well. That's our first number, major. Minor. All right, let's go ahead and run down to here. We did parse the version number. There is no trailing dot, and I think we're going to find that we have expected release labels. Yay! Okay, so this is fine. You're finding characters that are part of this. We found a, oh, we did not find a plus, but we found the dot. Okay, great. Trailing dot, we're gonna break. Part length is 4. Yeah, good, because it should be the word meta. Substring should be the word meta. Good. Oh, copied. It was checking for an error case before. Here I was, what is that? Oh, what? Still, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's change that and then everything worked. Okay. That's kind of weird, but okay. Okay. That turns an invalid version into a valid one. I think I'm gonna need more context to delay here, Sean. You're popping past where I'm at. All right, so if we parse a numeric version, then we do that and that. Okay. Excellent. All right, so labels dot other dot that result. All right, I want to see this. Let's see this real quick. I should put just more tests in, whatever. Here, I'm just going to get to here. I want to look at this result object a little bit. Oh, I'm getting it back as a string, so that doesn't help me much. I want to look at it here. Let's see. I want to kind of see, what did I get? Wait, you expect, 5 points? Oh, 5 parts. Is the dot 5 then considered a label, Sean, in that case? I think I can take some of these breakpoints out. All right, so let's see. Version labels, I have 3 of them. Meta, oh, 1, 2, 3, yeah, see, there. That's not right. That should be, that's why it's working, or not. Then this last one is numeric. Oh, that's weird. I would have thought, yeah, okay, this is the part that confused me. 123 dash other. I mean, it's fine, but I would have expected there to be 4 labels in the end. And then that. Four, five, six. Yeah, that's why it's working. It didn't find that dash as a separator between the labels. Does it matter? I don't know if I have to go see. All of this is just kind of overkill because all I have to do is validate these parts. I need to check for the V up front too. Do I really need to have all these constituent parts floating around? Is there ever a case that we're going to do the math to compare these things in the build? This number is greater than or less than that number. I guess we could do it in like the upgrade table. We never have before. So I don't know. I need all of this math that I'm trying to enable, kind of, sort of. In the end, it would be warnings. You'd be able to say things. I guess in the upgrade table, we'd be able to detect. That might be something. It's like an ICE. I think when the ICEs does that today to make sure that you don't end up with nonsensical version validation inside, or nonsensical version ranges inside your upgrade table. I guess that might be one where we'd want this. That's above and beyond what we do in the Wix toolset today. But if we want to be able to validate that, this would be useful. Although upgrades are based off of Wix, of MSI versions, MSI product versions, which are only the 3 dots, so it's even easier than all this extra goo here. So if I just do I don't like that name. Let's see. If it starts with a V, that's allowed. Let me toss one of those in. That was fast. Value does not fall within the expected range. Okay, I need to fix that exception. What did I do? Did I oversimplify it? Start. Oh, I didn't update any of this begins. I don't know. There we go. Let's see. So So does start ever move after this? No, good. A lot of cases where I want people to be able to author the V in there is kind of a pattern to be able to say, yeah, you could put a version in here and we'll strip that out for you. So I want to do that Wix version. I don't know what to call. I don't like the word original at all. Do not like the word original for that. This dot original equals version. This dot original without prefix equals start equals 0, then version, otherwise version not substring 1. Then this can go, I don't like original, don't like the word original, but it works. And that gives me the version value. I wonder if I always want to strip the V. I think I have to always strip the V for things to work. I think I always strip the V because nothing internally is going to expect it. Except Burn uses the V only when parsing the strings out of the conditions, right, Sean? I think that's right. So then I really do want that. Oh, no. I want this one. Yes, okay. All right, so Sean, you said I should be able to parse 5-part version. What does 5-part version mean? What is the .5 part of this? Is that a label? Is that the way to think about that? The last dot is a label. Let's see which one is getting set invalid in the end. Okay. Wait. All right, so how was the original code handling the trailing dot? It's not a valid version. Okay, I don't know if core will care, but I didn't want it to transform the value with a plus. Oh, okay, but so if it fails, that's a good thing. So this looks good then. Okay, good. So cannot parse 5-part attribute version. That's what we want. Where was this sending its? Oh, it's going to messaging. Oh, the parse helper asked for messaging at the top, didn't it? Ah, okay. Great, I think. That's all right. So, all right, I have to go solve the error handling now. Then, how do I want to do error handling? I don't really want try parse to have to throw to get here. So I guess it's just this goes inside there, and then we create a version in here. Berenda uses to pause, so it doesn't matter if there's a V anywhere. It'll probably only find it in conditions or the registry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trim it all the time. I think that's probably safest. I don't want to lose the value, the original author text either. I could keep both. Maybe original is original and Wix version dot. What is the value? It's version. The Wix. I don't know what to call it. I could keep original, which would have the V on it, and Wix version dot value. That doesn't sound right. Version. Wix version dot version. That sounds weird. I could hide it. I guess I don't have to make it. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I do just. Maybe I hide it and it's not there at all. If only. Maybe that's the way to do it. Just make it a field. Maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe that's the way to do it. Okay. So if we lift this, haha. Everything still builds? Yes, okay, great. Then I'm going to basically what am I doing here? I am that's what I'm doing. All right, there it is. That was way too hard. Okay. All right, did I break anything? Nope, good. All right, cannot parse 5-part attribute version. This is failing because I haven't changed this test, right? Yes, because I expected that. What is this coming back with? Null, probably? Oh no, it's coming back with an error, right? Yes, yes, that's what I want to get. Oh, it's throwing an exception. Perfect. Woohoo! All right, great. That is what I wanted. I have to run the syntax for catching exceptions, but that's what I wanted. That is what I wanted. All right, so what is this? Assert throws Wix exception, please. From data? Yes, there it is. Man, fat fingering everything. All right, look at that. Oh, got the curly brace. Yeah. Come on, put the parentheses in the right place, Rob. There we go. Ooh, yeah. That is the right answer. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that. Okay, I don't like the message. That's the part I want to fix. Wait, what? Oh, come on, you, pin. Thank you. The test value, attribute, blah, 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 value, 1, 2, 3. All right, great. Actually, that's correct. Test attributes, values, blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, value, 1.2.3.4.5, quote, is not a valid version. Legal version values should look like, and this is the part where I don't know what to put. All right, great. That's fine. That's where I wanted to get to that. Wow, that's awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Very much. Very much, very much, very much. Okay. That's not bad for an hour. No, I haven't added the... There's a number of error cases to catch next for all the different things that can go wrong. 65535 is the max. Yeah, I was debating... I was sitting here thinking about turning all of this into a function here. So let's add your test. Cannot parse version to large. 65536 probably. Oh, there's another double space in there? Really? Who put a double space in there? I did probably. Yeah, okay, fine. We'll fix that too. So now what I'm thinking is this. Whoa, wait. Cannot parse. This is not throwing? Okay. We will have to test that. Let's do that. Yeah, let's go. Oh, it's not failing. All right. Show tests only for this code. Okay. And cannot parse version too large. We would expect it when trying to parse the original uint, this guy here, to fail. Let's see. Is it 65555? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I say bundles have a really large number that they can handle, right? Yeah, this is uint 32, so it's not going to be 655, right? Okay, yeah, this is not, right, okay. This is not the correct test here. That's a different check that's in the MSI backend. Okay. How big is the number that can't go? Anyway, let me finish this. I was going to make this a function. Assert version. I mean, I could put the helper in there too. Yeah, this. Okay, this is where I don't use these very often. I suppose I could do theory here. The problem is I don't like the debuggability of theories. I don't like this either. Because the problem is this assert then throws inside this function, and it can be annoying to try to find this. Sorry, I banged in the microphone there. All right, well. Anyway. I have to decide how I want to factor this code, but this is fantastic progress. We basically took the version util code and brought it over into the Wix version parsing code and got the bulk of it parsing. Need to go write a few more tests to validate that everything is working correctly, make some more fine decisions on if I am throwing away the V or whatnot. Actually, you know what, I don't like the name of this, but this is what I'm actually thinking right now. Right? This is not a static. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, even better. Version.version. Set the version field inside the version. Come on, give me a test failing. Why are you failing now? Oh, helper. Did I not? I don't need you to be passed in anymore. Great. And this test is now failing because I'm returning the wrong version. There. All right. Cool. That's actually pretty good. We have the Veruda code in here in C#. Have a couple tests. Should write a bunch more to validate that it works correctly. But there we go. String parsing on stream. That's not actually fair. I didn't do any string parsing on stream. I get these pluses and minuses, always get one by off like crazy. All I did was transliterate C code into C# code, which went extremely well, I'd say. So that's where we're at for today. We'll be back next week, picking up other pieces here. Now that we have this in place, I might write a few more tests around the side, but now that we have this in place, we can power on into all those other things I said we might get to today that we did not, which is wiring this into all the interfaces to make this version validation available throughout the Wix tool set. So until then, you guys keep coding. You know I am.